In a shocking turn of events that caught everyone off guard, Hermès, the ultimate name in high-end fashion and flawless craftsmanship, has reportedly halted the production of its iconic Birkin bags. Yes, you heard that right. The legendary handbag, long considered the pinnacle of luxury, a symbol of inherited wealth and elite social standing, is allegedly no longer in production.
It requires a lot of skill to turn it and get it on the right way.
Il y a des bouchées, des bacs plus 4, 5, 6, on en a. Hein.
Does anybody have the Louis Vuitton from China?
De l'entrée, où on me donne des morceaux de cuir jusqu'au moment où je vais avoir livré ma pièce. Je veux pas qu'on reproduise un geste de façon indéfinie en se disant bon bah je fais toujours ce même geste et donc je pense qu'on est vraiment là pour apprendre un métier et pas des tâches.
And it's all starting to come apart because of a single lawsuit filed by Jane Birkin's own daughter. The stunning allegation? Hermès, the brand that has long portrayed itself as the pinnacle of French luxury, is reportedly cutting corners by quietly outsourcing the production of Birkin bags to factories in China. Yes, China, the very place luxury traditionalists have always sworn elite fashion would never turn to.
It starts with 30 distinct cuts of leather and can take 20 hours to complete, 4 hours for just the handle. Put the finishing touches on a Kelly, the most difficult bag to build. Artisans rely on their training and muscle memory to make every bag.
You can continue to expose all of these retailers. Nobody's going to care.
I am about to crash.
Y'all would never catch me in nothing fake. No fake earrings, no fake bracelets, no fake shoes, nothing fake designer. It's going to be a no for me.
Out.
It undermines the value of heritage craftsmanship. And the person exposing it all? The daughter of the very legend the bag was named after. The timing couldn't be more disastrous. The fashion industry is already on edge, with increasing rumors about fake goods, hidden factories, and secret deals between established luxury labels and overseas producers. But this is the real shocker, the kind of revelation that could ruin a legacy.
I need you people to wake up and critically think and stop believing this shit that you see on TikTok, okay?
You mean to tell me you believe that this man is making your Birkins in China? If he's a Birkin artisan, then I'm an astronaut.
It's made in China. I can get that for $12.
Go outside and touch grass. Some of you guys feel like this is your moment to shine and you can finally stick it to people that buy luxury goods without even fact checking anything about any of this information.
Because when Jane Birkin's own daughter takes legal action against the very fashion house that turned her mother's name into an icon, it's clear something serious is going on. Rumor has it, Hermès reacted by hitting the brakes completely. Birkin, bag production frozen, entire assembly lines brought to a sudden stop.
Have you all seen that TikTok by the Chinese guy exposing how luxury goods are actually made? The only real difference? China ships the products to Europe, slaps on a made in France or made in Italy label, and boom, luxury? It's ridiculous.
These are pieces of artwork. These artisans train years and years to make one of these bags.
Fabrice is doing the last stitching on a Kelly bag. A Kelly takes around 13 hours to be made, depending on the materials that we make it. Our artisans, they need to do 4 years of training to be able to manufacture a Kelly bag.
Well, Hermes says, made in China, does it feel cheaper? No, that's not a quality issue. It's luxury brand washing.
Hermes, you guys, it's time to show off your factories. No, I don't want to wait to go on YouTube and watch a beautiful documentary. Show them off right here on TikTok. Let the world see. Okay, get like China. You gotta be ghetto about it. Just let people know.
No announcement, no statement, no attempt at damage control. Just complete silence. And that silence is speaking volumes, louder than anything Hermès has ever publicly declared. The Birkin bag was never just a handbag. It represented an entire way of life, a flex of exclusivity, a coveted item with endless waitlists, a symbol of status worn by stars, royalty, and the ultra-wealthy. But now, that once revered icon is being tarnished and dragged through the dirt.
Got a lot of requests, do Hermes next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park Mall in Italy. made in China. Or maybe made in Italy. Oh yeah, that should be a thing, by the way. I have spent over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what made those bags so expensive.
And the person pulling it down is someone more connected to it than anyone else. Jane Birkin's own daughter, Lou Doillon. She's reportedly filed a lawsuit that's sending shockwaves through Hermès from the inside. Sources say the core of the legal battle is a serious allegation that Hermès deliberately and knowingly moved Birkin bag production elsewhere. Yes, you heard that right.
My point is, I think it's crazy how designer brands have been selling things for thousands when China sell them on and literally they're so cheap. If the Chinese manufacturers are making the same, like the actual Birkins, and then they are also selling these on the side as well, technically this is an absolute fucking bargain because it's the exact same material as a Birkin.
The same bags that often sell for $20,000 and up were allegedly being produced in Chinese factories. And to make matters worse, Hermès reportedly continued stamping them with the prestigious Made in France label. Let's be honest, this isn't just a minor supply chain adjustment. It's a blatant betrayal of everything the Birkin bag was supposed to represent. These bags were meant to be hand-stitched by highly trained artisans who spent years, sometimes decades, honing their craft in specialized Hermès workshops throughout France. That's the very reason people are willing to spend a fortune on them. It's why celebrities collect them like rare treasures. If the allegations are true, Hermès didn't just lower the standard. They built an illusion and sold it for tens of thousands per piece. And that's what makes Lou Doillon's reported lawsuit so powerful. It's not just a legal matter. It's deeply personal. Her mother, Jane Birkin, gave her name to this brand-defining product. And now her daughter might be the one to expose what could be its downfall. This betrayal goes beyond business. It hits at the heart of family and legacy. This wasn't just a partnership with a famous name gone wrong. It was heritage. And allegedly, it's now tainted in more ways than one. For loyal Birkin fans, they're in full-blown panic mode. Because if the world's most elite handbag might have been produced in the same factories as knockoff totes, then what does luxury even mean anymore? And the story is just beginning. At the center of this chaos lies one explosive question. Did Hermès, the guardian of French craftsmanship, secretly outsource the making of its most iconic product to China? For decades, the phrase "made in France" stitched inside a Birkin wasn't just a label, it was a promise. A promise of artistry, legacy techniques, and the kind of human touch only years of quiet discipline in a dimly lit Paris atelier could create. That romantic ideal was a big part of what justified the astronomical price tags. But if even part of Lou Doillon's alleged lawsuit is true, then that ideal may have been nothing more than a beautiful illusion. Leaked information and online whispers suggest Hermès started secretly outsourcing parts of the Birkin bag process to Chinese manufacturers, assembly, stitching, even raw materials, while continuing to present them as fully French-made. And this wasn't some minor side operation. Entire batches of made-in-France Birkins may never have even touched French soil. What's worse? Multiple anonymous former employees have reportedly stepped forward, claiming they were threatened into silence about these offshore practices. Some claim there are photos. Others hint at missing factory invoices and shipment records that conveniently disappeared during audits. But the detail that sent the internet into a frenzy? The idea that these outsourced Birkins were still being sold for $25,000, $50,000, even over $100,000. Even though production costs may have dropped by as much as 80%, this goes far beyond clever business. It's being called a global luxury scam. Charging a premium for true craftsmanship is one thing, but allegedly cutting corners while misleading your most devoted collectors? That's an entirely different game. Hermès wasn't just selling handbags, they were selling trust. And once that trust began to crack, the fallout came fast. As the truth started surfacing, more and more customers began asking the same question. Where was my Birkin really made? The backlash was swift and brutal. Loyalty, prestige, and obsession. These were the foundations Hermès had built over decades. But in just a few online leaks and one headline-making lawsuit, that loyalty began to crumble. Social media exploded within hours. On TikTok, former luxury resellers and fashion influencers began uploading side-by-side comparisons of older and newer Birkins, zooming in on the stitching, the shape, even the scent of the leather. One video went viral after claiming, "This doesn't feel handcrafted. It looks like fast fashion pretending to be high-end." It racked up 2.5 million views in just a day. On Reddit, Hermes collectors were spiraling. These weren't casual buyers. They were people who waited years, literally years, just to be considered for the chance to buy a Birkin. Now, many of them are asking if they were duped into buying an overpriced knockoff with a luxury label. Some have already sent their bags to private authentication experts. Others are consulting legal teams. The sense of betrayal runs deep. For these collectors, their bags weren't just accessories. They were status symbols, extensions of their identity, a ticket into the upper echelon of fashion culture. Now they feel played. One former client posted on Instagram, "If I wanted a bag made in China, I'd shop at Zara, not drop $30K on a Birkin." That post quickly picked up traction, liked by several blue-check accounts, including a celebrity stylist known for dressing A-listers on the red carpet. Even longtime Hermès devotees are beginning to turn. Some are calling for a full boycott. Others are urging the brand to come forward with the truth and issue a global recall. The loudest complaints are coming from those who spent the most, and their fury is palpable. Because in the world of luxury, perception is everything. And now that the curtain's been lifted, people aren't just angry, they're embarrassed. But here's the kicker. This isn't the first time Hermès has faced questions about how its bags are made. What's happening now makes past controversies seem minor in comparison. This scandal doesn't just threaten Hermès, it sends a clear message to every major fashion house still relying on outdated notions of exclusivity and tradition. Because if Hermès, the supposed gold standard, can allegedly fall this hard, who's safe? The Birkin was meant to be untouchable, the ultimate luxury icon. But if it turns out to be nothing more than an overpriced product with a romantic story and a Made in France tag slapped on at the end, then what's left to believe in? Now, every luxury brand, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Dior, is facing new scrutiny. Consumers are watching closely, demanding transparency. They want receipts, literal proof, of where the leather came from, who stitched the seams, and whether their $8,000 purse was crafted in a serene workshop or mass-produced on a factory floor. In today's world, supply chain transparency isn't a nice bonus. It's a matter of survival. And the question is, who's next? Most luxury brands aren't prepared for what's hitting them. For decades, they've operated in secrecy, confident that no one would dare question their practices. But thanks to the chaos now surrounding Hermès, those questions are pouring in, louder and faster than ever before. Fashion insiders are calling this moment the beginning of a full-blown luxury integrity test. Any brand charging premium prices, without full transparency, is being scrutinized. Influencers are cutting ties. Stylists are pulling Hermès pieces from their shoots. Even resale platforms are getting flooded with one major question. Was this really made in France? This isn't just a minor PR mess. It's a full-on industry reckoning. And the message is loud and clear. The era of blind loyalty to high-end brands is over. The luxury fashion world just received a brutal wake-up call, and not everyone will survive it. As panic spreads across the industry, Hermès has something even more dangerous looming: a potential legal disaster. If Lou Doyon's lawsuit gains momentum, and let's be honest, public opinion already seems to be on her side, Hermès could be forced into a courtroom showdown that exposes far more than just overseas production. We're talking depositions, internal emails, factory audits, and possibly damning proof that bags labeled "Made in France" were actually made elsewhere. If even one document confirms Hermès knowingly misled its customers, it's not just a scandal, it's straight-up fraud. Consumer protection agencies in both the US and Europe are reportedly watching the case unfold very closely. Why? Because this isn't just a branding issue anymore. It could be a clear violation of international labeling laws. If found guilty, Hermès could face massive fines, forced product recalls, or even criminal investigations. And if Hermès falls, regulators may not stop there. Other luxury giants could be next in line. But the legal battle is only part of the story. The ethical damage could cut even deeper. Let's talk about what no one wants to say out loud. If Hermès really did outsource to China, were the workers fairly paid? Were materials responsibly sourced? Were labor rights respected? Or was this all just a race for bigger profits at any cost? And don't forget, we're talking about handbags that cost $25,000 or more. Once you connect those sky-high prices to questionable labor conditions, it's not just a bad look, it's a full-blown ethical collapse. But perhaps the most devastating blow of all is the loss of trust. Fines can be paid, headlines can fade, but when your most devoted customers, the ones who've built their image around owning your brand, feel deceived, that kind of damage sticks. It's emotional. It's personal. And it doesn't just go away. Right now, Hermès is teetering on the edge of both legal and moral disaster. One wrong move, and it all comes crashing down. And the biggest question isn't just how Hermès will respond. It's whether the brand can survive the aftermath. In the wake of these allegations, Hermès is at a crossroads. If they want to salvage their reputation, they need to act fast and decisively. That could mean full transparency, independent audits, or a return to their roots in authentic French craftsmanship. Whatever the path, it must show real accountability and a genuine effort to meet the expectations of their customers. This entire Birkin controversy is a powerful reminder of how fragile a brand's legacy can be. As consumers grow smarter and more demanding, luxury labels must live up to the ideals they claim to represent. For Hermès, redemption depends on reclaiming the values that once made them exceptional: honesty, quality, and true artisanal skill.